The marble floors of the Senate chamber echoed with the quiet shuffle of staffers and the murmured tension of a country on edge. America was watching, and the stakes were higher than ever. In a moment that would become a political legend, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana sat forward, glasses slipping halfway down his nose, voice calm but heavy with certainty. "Madam Speaker," he began, "I don't come here to play games. I come here with the truth." It started just 3 weeks earlier, when whispers of a controversial energy lobbying deal tied to progressive climate initiatives began circulating on Capitol Hill. At the center of it was Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the charismatic and polarizing figurehead of the Green New Deal. Her energy plan had swept across the political landscape like wildfire, inspiring young activists and shaking the old guard to its core. But now, there were allegations, serious ones. The moment the story hit the press, the country split in two. Some called it a smear campaign, others called it justice. Kennedy, a folksy yet razor-sharp conservative, wasn't known for reckless accusations. He was a man of precision, and when he spoke, people listened, not because he was loud, but because he was deliberate. Behind the scenes, Kennedy's staff had been digging. What they uncovered was damning. Financial records connecting a shadowy green tech consortium later traced to foreign investors with questionable environmental records, directly to several lobbying firms that had funded PACs supporting AOC's latest bill. There was no smoking gun of illegality, but it painted a damning picture of hypocrisy. A climate bill allegedly rooted in environmental justice was being quietly steered by interests far removed from grassroots concerns. Kennedy had taken no pleasure in the discovery. He respected conviction, even if he disagreed with it. But what troubled him was the betrayal, not of party lines, but of the American people's trust. He believed in debate, not deception. And so, in front of millions watching on C-SPAN and every major network, Kennedy laid out the evidence with surgical precision. "These records," he said, lifting the thick stack of documents, "show a web of influence. Money changing hands, through shell companies, PACs funded by companies with worse carbon footprints than half of America combined. And all of it behind the back of the very people promised a cleaner future." The camera cut to AOC, who sat frozen, eyes narrowed, but unblinking. She hadn't expected this. The allegations had circulated, yes, but she thought she was clean. Thought the energy groups her team had worked with were transparent. The realization hit her like a weight. She'd been used, and worse, she had unknowingly helped use others. Outside, protesters gathered, some in support, some in anger. The tension wasn't just political anymore, it was personal. Americans were tired of broken promises, of being told one thing and delivered another. And as Kennedy concluded his address, he left the chamber with a silence that said more than words ever could. "I don't relish this moment," he said quietly. "But I do respect the truth. And the truth is, leadership is not about what you say, it's about who you answer to when no one's looking." The fallout was immediate. Calls for AOC's resignation flooded social media. Her allies distanced themselves, while critics circled like sharks. But in a twist that no one saw coming, she didn't step down. Not that day. Instead, she stood before the press the next morning. Without handlers, without notes, and with something America hadn't seen in a long time. Vulnerability. "I was wrong," she said, voice cracking. "I trusted the wrong people. I thought I was building something honest. But I lost sight of what really matters. You. The people who believed in me. I don't ask for your forgiveness. Only the chance to make this right." She took a step back from Congress, refused donations for future campaigns, and launched a transparency initiative designed to trace every dollar of political influence in climate legislation. Many said it was a desperate move. Some called it brave. Kennedy, when asked about it, said only, "She's got grit. Let's see what she does with it." Months passed, the political landscape shifted, and while AOC's star no longer shone as brightly in Washington, she found a new calling, not as a legislator, but as a watchdog. Working with non-profits, former whistleblowers, and yes, even conservative colleagues, she dedicated herself to building a system of accountability. As for Kennedy, he remained a senator, unchanged in manner, but forever changed in reputation. He wasn't the man who destroyed a career. He was the man who reminded the country what accountability looked like, and what integrity could still mean. In the end, the story wasn't about a takedown, it was about reckoning. About two people from opposite ends of the spectrum forced to confront a common truth, that power is never the goal. It's the responsibility that comes with it. And that's the moment America started to believe again. Not in parties, but in people. END.